Lee, and I run I'm So Yoga Newark in New Jersey. We're a yoga studio that focuses on meditation and yoga, and then we have workshops, retreats, and yoga trainings throughout the year.
There are some things that are difficult for me to understand in our culture. For example, when we buy an olive oil, a good olive oil, because we know that the essential acids of the olive oil are good to feed our body. But when we eat grape, we spit the seeds of the grapes. And those are the best essential acids for our body. So there are some contradictions that I don't understand. And this also happened with yoga. I think most people with this practice is taking the peel and throwing away the pulp, which is the best thing. Today it is very special for me because it joined us Leslie today. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
So Leslie is a yoga teacher. She runs a studio in New Jersey, in Newark, which is a town in New Jersey. And she drives social inclusion policies for her studio. Is that right?
Yes.
Which I think it's a great thing to take yoga out of the snobism, out of the, you understand, snobism?
Snobism.
Yeah, something, yoga is take it like something snob, for people who is snob. But I think I understand yoga as something, it's a physiological need. It's something for our biology, for every human. So it shouldn't be just for a certain group of people, but instead it should be for everybody. So I love your work, Leslie, with this, the way you spread yoga. And I also like very much how you approach to this practice, because you are one of those that are trying to give to this practice much more than like a movement program, a weekly movement program for somebody who needs to work out. And instead of going to CrossFit, they go to yoga. And this is where I feel many people, it's throwing away the pulp of this practice, because yoga is much more than workout.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, I try to explain to people that yoga is the same way that you exercise your body, you have to exercise your mind, and yoga just allows you to do that. Um, so people are reaping the benefits, I feel like, of yoga, whether they believe so or not. They get to really understand themselves and their minds the more they take classes.
Yes. But there is something I don't understand, and I need you to help me to understand, because in your teacher training, you base your teaching in chakras, and in my channel, I decide to, as a nerdy engineer, to take away the strange words of this ancient knowledge and to break down all this, to put it in something easier for an Eastern mind to understand. I mean, chakras, it's a great thing to study, but it's an abstraction. It's something that I think a lot of times it works like a carrot, you know, that you see a map of energy, uh, and you study this because you think that someday you will be able to perceive this yourself. But I think that this to split the reality in two, putting like a carrot to follow, you know, something. It's like it's platonic. I mean, there is an ideal world and there is the real world where I am. No, so I think this language, which is great. I repeat, I love it, but it makes this practice not easy to understand for other people who can't follow this abstraction because it's too complex to understand. So you are teaching chakras. Tell me, how is your experience with this, please?
My experience with chakras and teaching them, they've gone well. People understand them. The way that I just simplify them as much as I can every time I explain them, and I always use like parallels with real life scenarios. Um, so yeah, I think people are getting it, especially now that people are becoming more mindful, more conscious, more aware.
And don't you think that for some people these abstractions can create like a fantasy cloud, and which is, I mean, this understanding just as an idea uh, is not easy to put it down into the body? Do you understand what I say? Maybe I'm not clear. I mean, uh, don't you feel that some people it's that the this teaching about chakras, it's it's putting some people outside of the understanding. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this. Sorry about my English. I have to apologize always. did you did you understand the question?
Are you saying, are you ask not really, but are you asking me if explaining the chakras takes away from it? Is that what you're saying?
That I've learned with chakras yoga, so I don't have anything to complain about this knowledge. But I feel, I think, I see around me people who is studying yoga that many times these ideals becomes very difficult to bring this to reality, to what you have at hand. I mean, it's there are concepts, abstract concepts that they are very hard to embody.
Oh, so that's why it's a practice. That's why we constantly practice to kind of get to the point, like to get to the goal. I think it's just a practice that people should do, and like
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I said, I think it's just a practice that people should just do in like small pieces. Like I think it is a lot to take on to try to do embody the whole chakra system and result at once. I think that people just should try as best as they can and kind of break it down.
Okay. And how I am I know that you are trying to step further in giving to yoga practice a wider experience, to enhance the experience of yoga. How do you apply this in your teacher training, in your classes?
In my training, I just teach as much as I can, as much philosophy as I can find, and try to include other teachers to also participate. Um, I go through the eight limbs of yoga and have people identify like what works for them, what is working for them, what they're aware of, what they aren't aware of. The way that I apply it to my classes, so I've developed more mindful classes that usually start off with a question, so people can kind of have that time to think amongst themselves and connect with other people. Otherwise, once some of the classes we include some journaling, some writing to kind of get to know where our minds are naturally,
Uh huh.
and with that awareness, um, I believe that people are able to kind of see themselves differently because once you're able to see words on paper, you kind of say, "Oh, okay, well that's what my brain is," or trying to identify like this is what I thought about, this is interesting, and just understanding themselves on a deeper level, and just trying to guide people on on. I believe that not all thoughts belong to you. So I try to kind of figure out like which one do you identify with and which one doesn't serve you any longer, which one can you let go of, what can you replace it with. So these are kind of the exercises we go through in a class.
That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured so over the years it was very interesting. I started off very like I want to do all the physical poses. So now I'm kind of like on the fifth, sixth year, and now I want to try to understand my mind and help people understand their minds as I'm growing um, into this yoga practice.
Great. I was checking at your website, and I love the way you handle this knowledge. Thank you, Leslie.
Cool. Thank you.
Hope we see each other. I'll be in. I'll travel to New York next month, so I hope we see each other then.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me to this conversation. Yeah. I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you next one.
Yeah, let's fly dragons. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye. My dog did very good. Look, he's just laying down.
How is? What is his name? Hola.
Rocky.
Hola, Rocky. Hola, Rocky. Wow, he must eat a lot.